Ask your lungs to relax. Noticing the back of your lungs with your breath. Your lungs massaging your heart, massaging around the back of the heart, the sides, and the front of the heart. As you breathe deep through the branches of your lungs and your heart. And I'll just check that everyone's muted. You don't need to mute yourself, don't worry about it. I just suddenly heard something then. Great, everyone's muted, thank you. And as we start with this inner caress of our breath, of our lungs and our hearts, allowing your breath to wash through you, to allow all of your organs to relax, inviting the whole of your torso to relax. And perhaps you move your hands to your belly, to your heart, or you keep them on your lap. And as you breathe, noticing the quality, the rhythm, the smoothness of your breath. Let's create 5 breaths with a count of 6 to soothe and calm down our nervous system. Also noticing the sound of your breath, toning your vagus nerve. And then inhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you exhale, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 6, noticing the belly swelling all the way up to the top of your lungs, your collarbones. Exhale for 6, easing the air out all the way down through your spine as well, drawing the lower belly in. Inhale for 6, noticing the front of your body expanding. Exhale for 6, noticing the back of your body, your shoulders softening. Inhale for 6, filling up as full as possible. Exhale for 6, softening the air out, drawing the lower belly in to your center. And one more big breath, noticing this wave, cleansing, restoring. Returning to your own rhythm, or possibly continuing with the 6 count. Noticing how you feel now. Let's feel into our breath with the ocean wave a bit more. Keeping your hands where they are, you can take one hand to your belly, your heart, or both hands to your heart. Keeping your eyes closed with an inhale, lift your heart a little bit, feel the wave rush through you. And as you exhale, soften the back of your shoulders, the back of your heart. The wave moving away from you, drawing the lower belly in. Inhale through the front of the body, feel the wave lifting. Exhale through the back of the body, softening, releasing, drawing the lower belly in. Maybe you move with this with an inhale, lifting your heart, your gaze, and your chin to the sky. As you exhale, rounding, tilting the pelvis, drawing the lower belly in, chin to your chest. And keep that going for 5 more breaths, maybe moving or staying in stillness, whatever feels the best for you. Noticing the back of your throat and the sound there, the wave of your breath. And this caressing inner love for yourself. This whole practice, let's move with love, soothing the whole of ourselves with love. One more breath. And when you're ready, dipping your chin to your chest and just rounding slightly through your pelvis, draw lower belly, pelvic floor lifts. And feel into your throat, the 3 bandhas of your Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, diaphragm lifted, upward flying lock, Uddiyana Bandha, and your throat, Lock, Jana, Bandha. Creating master seal. Setting your intention for your practice as you bow your head to your heart. Maybe this is to practice with self-love or your own special intention. Great, let's come to a seated position. You can either be kneeling or cross-legged for this, whichever feels best. We'll do some shoulder exercises and then we'll lie down on our back for a few nice stretches before we get into some stronger postures. Let's turn our palms up, soften the shoulders away from the ears, back and down, and then just move your hands out and in. Noticing the shoulder blades, lifting your heart. Maybe you really slow this down, feeling the sides of the upper arms, around the shoulders, the front of the shoulders, the collarbones, down the sides of the neck and the jaw. And any time that you'd like to take any adaptions, of course, choosing what's right for you and how you want to move, what you want to stretch out is great. Let's now take our hands to our shoulders, ease the elbows around, big circles, and balancing out any stickiness, any tight, niggly energy, just allowing that to go, to leave and to drop down to the ground with your inner caresses of your breath. Let's keep one elbow lifted as you drop the other arm to the ground. Lift this elbow up a bit more to feel the stretch through the rib cage down the side of the body, down to both feet, pressing the feet equal. Feel the hips and the pelvis and drop the hip of the side that you're stretching a bit down, a bit more to feel that stretch through that side deeper. So now angle this elbow towards the other arm that's to the ground and just stay there for a moment as you round and arch slightly into the twist. Feel the stretch through the back of the neck, back of the shoulder. Let's slow it right down with our breath. 3 breaths, moving with the elbow. With an inhale, lift the elbow, lift heart and gaze. As you exhale, elbow to the upper arm, crossing over again. Keep it going really slow with this inner caress, like you're waking up and stirring with spring just around the corner, the snow melting. Great, one more time, and next time that your elbow goes towards the opposite side of the body, just stay there. Feel the twist to the lower rib cage and down through the lower back. Press both hips down equally again and just notice a deeper sensation of the stretch. And then let's drop that hand that was lifted to the ground to that opposite side. And again, you're either cross-legged or kneeling, just stay as you are. And just let your body pull to that side. Feel both hips, both feet, both shoulders. Let's practice cat-cow on this side. Maybe coming up onto your fingertips with an inhale. Exhale, round, looking down to the ground. Inhale, lifting through your spine, looking forwards. And it's a bit of a stretch through the side of the throat, the shoulder, the body in a different way. One more breath as you exhale, rounding. And then inhale, come back to center. Let's move our body all the way back to a center point, reaching the hands up overhead. Press the palms together and then drop the prayer to the back of the head. Feel the elbows lifted now, stretching the upper arms through the armpits and the back of the shoulders. Maybe you just level your head and your shoulders a bit more in your awareness. And then let's drop one hand down, the opposite hand, then we did the other side, the other hand behind our head, elbow up, actioning into the stretch through the rib cage again, to the side of the body. Noticing the hip of that same elbow that's lifted and press it towards the ground a little bit more, just slightly. Send a big breath through with an inner caress through this side. And now let's do that elbow motion again as we exhale, elbow to upper arm. Inhale to reach up and lengthen. Slow it right down. Get curious of the stretch to this side, to the back of the shoulder, the back of the neck. And then we'll pause and hold it as well. One more breath, moving with your breath, lifting your heart as you reach up. And exhale, curling in, staying curled for a moment, feeling into the stretch through the back of the ribs, down the side, the lower back, the hips. Great, dropping that hand to the ground on that side turn into the twist a bit more. Notice what's happening on this side. If the hands are slightly different, the arms, what's the body doing to find stability and balance. Softening your jaw and your face. Do the cat-cow motion again with an inhale looking forwards. Exhale, rounding. Inhale to lengthen, lift your heart. Exhale to round, and maybe you're on your fingertips again as you breathe through. And exhale to round. And then let's pause there as we come back to center. With an inhale, reach the hands up overhead again. And as you exhale, let's take our hands to our shoulders, crossing the forearms. Round your back and you're looking down for a moment. Check which forearm's over the other, which arm is crossed on top. And then let's just switch it to the other side. Feeling the stretch through your tighter side, your tighter shoulder. Inhale, reach the arms wide like wings, looking up. Exhale, cross the arms again, hug yourself into center. Inhale, lift the arms wide again, looking up, soften shoulders back. Cross the other arm over now as you hug into center. And twice more, pulsing your heart wings with the wings of alchemy, of your own love and peace, of your strength, of your wisdom. As you inhale, reach the hands wide, and then let's take the hands up to the top again, palms pressed together. Exhale, hands to your hearts. Great, let's lie down, but if you want to lie down really mindfully with your core, you're welcome to. Check that you're next to your wall. I'm actually going to move over there to demonstrate, but as we lie down, let's check that we're really close to a wall and get our mat close to the wall. So you may need to just shuffle over to a space where that's appropriate for you in your home, in your room. And when you lie down, just slow it down as slowly as possible, easing to the ground, using your core. Staying slow and with your breath as an inner caress. As you reach the hands overhead, straighten your feet and lengthen, so you're stretching all the way through your body. Let's now wiggle our way over to the wall area, and we'll practice legs up the wall first of all. So Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. As you move your mat over, checking that your bottom is as close as possible with the hips as close as possible to the wall, and you can wriggle onto the side and then lie down so your back is flat and your legs are up. Notice both hips, both shoulders, and the back on the ground, feeling into the whole of the back of the body, easing, and your breath as an inner caress again. The other legs and this waterfall effect of the blood, of all the nadis, the meridian lines, the energy lines, cleansing, clearing, rejuvenating through you. Maybe your hands are eased, relaxed to the sides, palms turned up, or your hands to your belly, or hand to your heart and your belly. Noticing your breath with a big inhale, inviting the breath, really expanding through your lungs, your heart, your organs. Exhale, softening, drawing the lower belly in. And as we rest for 3 minutes in each posture now, in stillness, it's your choice whether you really focus on your own inner love, self-love, maybe with your own mantra, affirmation. You can just return to the breath as inner caresses, as waves of love, each time to remember to return to your heart. And as we stay here, softening everything to the ground, letting all of your weight pour and melt, noticing this merging of your breath, of your heart, your mind, in your own heart coherence, your heart's magnetic field, the balance of your heart and your mind in union with love, with your breath calming and centering. In each breath, perhaps a new blessing, or remembering your affirmation, your mantra. And throughout this class, I'll read a few different love poems to you. And then this one and a few of them are by Drew Dallinger. And this one's called Between 0 and 1. I'm busy finding the infinite ways that I love you. And if you listen carefully to the Milky Way, you will hear my angel that she is busy loving you too. I want you, my dear, to conceive the largest number your mind is capable of imagining. How many cells have been nourished as units of life for humanity to exist? How many minutes in silence have the still minds of all the planets spent to continue the kindness of revolution? How many leaves have been kissed by the sun? How many molecules of air have been dancing in the atmosphere? How many droplets of water have been flowing freely on the skin of the earth? How many worlds and stars and galaxies had stood over you all night? How many photons live inside the body of the cosmos? How many shining eyes are there in all the children of nature? If you listen carefully to the Milky Way, you will hear my angel that she is busy loving you too, with all her stars as one. She is busy loving you with each spark of life. She is busy loving you and loving me and loving every single being that has ever inhabited this world. She is busy loving us with a unified impermanence breath and with her intoxicating scent of oneness. Then the multiverse of universes counts without counting and resets our souls. Because reducing ourselves to 0 is where we all converge to start again. This is how we are busy finding the infinite ways that we love you between 0 and 1. As you ease your legs down from that waterfall, Vibrita Karani, just bring your knees into your chest and rock from side to side, moving your legs in any way that's nice for you. Let's keep our right knee hugged in and our left foot above us, circling the ankle round one way and then the other, like you're stirring the sun and the moon above you. And then trying the other side, just going to the other foot, circling that other ankle round as you bend the left knee in. Feel the shoulders level, the hips, the back level, and stirring the circle of love with your foot all the way through this leg to the hips. Take both knees in towards the chest, and then you can hold the backs of your thighs for happy baby, elbows and knees out to the side, shoulders relaxed and level. Or we can take the shins, the calf area. Maybe you hold on to the sides of the feet if you have your socks on, or first two fingers and thumbs to the big toes. Maybe the hands are in the inner arches to weight the legs down more heavy and feel into your back dropping to the ground. And again, we stay here for 3 minutes, feeling the sensations deepening as the time progresses with our breath, as inner caresses, noticing the breath to the belly, the motion, the ripple, the wave, with love. Feeling your thighs, your knees, your hips, your pelvis. And noticing, as you probably were with the legs up the wall and the waterfall, that the movement of energy rushing and washing over you, possibly actively allowing this in your own way to cleanse and let go of any emotional energy that needs to be cleared, or any physical energy, just asking for that to drop to the earth, just like snow melting on the ground, allowing this to melt away, transform and refresh. And let's stay here again, breathing through. As you notice your breath, I read another poem. The Glorious Kiss. Wait patiently, my angel, sitting still at the edge of the universe. Then, escaping from polarity and justice, duality and gravity, my action will travel at the speed of love, among black egos and supermassive fears. Wait in complete trust, beloved one, in the field of supreme awareness and courage. Then the most tender kiss, the cosmic caress, will kiss your soul and embrace your heart. Feel the soft lips, divine one, of our kind, insurgent stars, our stream, our source of freedom, of light, the magnificent delight that comes from tasting the oneness of life, the glorious kiss. And as you take 3 more breaths here, just dropping this kiss through you to the earth, melting your inner caress. Let's now shake our arms and our legs above our body, shaking the joints and wrestle your bones, your flesh. Take a few more moments, just get it all shaken out. Shake a bit more vigorously, as fast as you can. And then slow it right down, so it's a gentle shake. Notice the sensation. Wiggle your fingers, your thumbs and your toes. Let's now take our feet to the wall and wriggle yourself so that your hips are underneath your knees and your feet are hip distance apart, positioned on the wall for our bridge form and pelvic lifts. Hands to the sides, palms turned down, please. And then in your own time, lift your hips just a few centimeters away from the ground. Tilt the pelvis up and round the lower back, pressing it to the mat. Feel your glutes, your feet. Have an exhale here, draw lower belly in, lift pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Inhale, take the hips down to the ground, actioning the tailbone to point to the earth, and your lower back lifts away from the ground. Feel the feet and the shoulders in balance. And then keep that motion moving, rocking your pelvis, noticing the feet on the wall. As you press slightly, feel the rocking, soothing your sacrum. And as you breathe with the movement, with this inner caress, noticing the front and the back of your pelvis, the wellspring of a fountain of vitality from your pelvic bowl. This shimmering, fizzing energy up through your spine, through your organs, your heart, your lungs. One more breath, just rocking and noticing the tilt of your pelvis, the energy, the action from there. Then let's start to lift away from the ground, lifting up to a bridge form. If you want to have a block underneath your hips here, you're welcome to, or a bolster to rest on. Notice your shoulders and level them. Maybe you draw the upper arms and the shoulder blades towards each other a bit more. Maybe you press up and lift up as much as you can, or you stay somewhere in between in the middle. Maybe you drop down a little bit more as well if you just want to relax and take it easy today. But wherever you are, feel the front of the body, the front of the thighs, the front of the hips, the heart. Breathing with big deep breaths. And get settled into the breath, into the rhythm. If you're engaged, feel into your focus, your determination and strength. And if you're relaxed, feel into softening the hips as this strengthening, leveling point with the shoulders in balance. The shoulders and the hips as full corners of your temple. And here we can practice a full part breath if you want to. Breathing for the count of 4 as you inhale. Hold the breath in for a count of 4 after your inhale at the top. Breathing out for 4 as you exhale. And holding the breath out for 4 in emptiness at the bottom of your exhale. Maybe you practice a few rounds of square breath, golden square. Maybe the square turns into a rectangle or kind of a square, whatever feels best for you. And you can even action this around your body, breathing with an inhale from left hip to left shoulder, holding the breath in, across your collarbones, your heart, breathing out from right shoulder to right hip, and holding the breath out across your pelvis, your hips. Maybe you try that square in the opposite way around your body. As we stay here for a few more moments, few more minutes, I read another poem, Uprising of Souls. You are our revolution, who started in the wombs of our mothers, the communion of colourful, fresh, local, organic acts of kindness reflected in a historic sunset, a landscape of the conjunction of Venus, the moon, the justice of the stars, a celestial date that inspires lovers, poets, and rebels who count the mix of photons as one with each submersive kiss, with every kiss of every lover, of all lovers that have ever lived. Once the land and freedom have called you, your heart can no longer live without real love. Because how do we live without real love? How do we live on this earth living with love? That's your true nature, the independent you with love. And the galaxy has laid her ancient love at your feet to witness in service and solidarity the courageous mass awakening, living in love, the blaze uprising of souls, seeking for the beautiful warmth of your heart's fire, of love, of life in love. When you're ready, easing down from that, drawing your knees into your chest or stretching out long, however feels best for you. And then let's take our hands over our head. And you could either have the elbows wide, palms turned up in cactus arms, or interlacing the fingers behind your head, whatever feels best. We're going to sway the knees over to one side, as if we're about to drop them all the way to the ground for spinal twist, and then come up to center and sway them over to the other side. Trying to keep both elbows, both shoulders, the top part of your back level as it sways. It probably will lift up over the top area of the back slightly, but just trying to breathe into that awareness, softening as well, moving in your own rhythm, drawing lower belly in if you can as you exhale, noticing your hips, your sacrum, noticing the movement through your body, twisting your torso and the lower back, the spine. One more breath. And then the next time they go over to one side, let's just drop them to that side fully, wherever it feels most comfortable for your legs to be. And maybe you wrap the top leg over the bottom leg a bit more to encourage a deeper stretch. You can have the hands as they are. And as we turn our gaze to the opposite side of where our knees are pointing, gaze to the opposite way. Softening your jaw, your face, maybe the hands drop to the sides and soften even more. And let's stay here for 10 big breaths. Actively breathing with a big love caress through the side that's been stretched. Actively breathing across your lungs, your heart, your organs for space, and the spaciousness of love, of peace within you. Noticing your breath and the way that you're turned towards the gaze, your head is turned on that side. For the last 3 breaths, let's breathe through the same nostril that your head is turned towards and breathe out of the other nostril. So you breathe through the same nostril and breathe out the other for 3 breaths. And if you're turned towards the left, that's your moon side, cooling breath. If you're turned towards your right, it's your sun side, a warming breath. We'll do both sides, so don't worry. Great, let's come back to center with the knees. Shake out your arms, your legs, or have a little wriggle in your own way. And then drawing the knees in, let's just take the hands to the sides again and sway them side to side. Maybe your hands are palms down, or they're wide to the sides at shoulder height, or they're interlaced behind the head again. Noticing what is nice for you right now, and if you need to change it, And one more sway with the knees, and then now let's drop them all the way to the opposite side for our spinal twist. Again, leveling the shoulders as much as you can, but noticing the twist through the side body. Maybe you release the hands in a way and you gaze to the opposite side of the knees. Once more, softening your jaw, your face, your shoulder. Again, taking 10 big, saturating, generous breaths through this side. Feeling the breath and the difference on this side. Breathing across your heart, your lungs. Into the side of the body, the organs. All the way through. Around the sacrum. Up through the spine. Spine, your column of light, Shishima, highway of your breath, your intention. And again, 3 breaths on this side to the same nostril that you're facing. Breathing in through that nostril and out through the other one. Noticing if this is your sun or your moon side. Moon breath through the left nostril, sun breath through the right. When we mix them up, it's alternate nostril breathing, as you know. After you've done 3 on that side, let's draw our knees in again and rock from side to side. And then taking your hands to your knees, making circles one way with the knees, and circles the other way with the knees. Take our feet to the mat and then wiggle yourself up the mat. So you're away from the wall area, you're up the mat. Taking your hands to your knees and drawing the knees into your chest again. Let's hold on to our right knee and extend the left foot to the top of the mat. Point and flex both feet a few times, feeling into the leg line. And then I'm going to ease the right knee over to the left again, just like we did with that spinal twist, keeping the left leg straight. And then start to straighten that right leg out to the left, kicking it out to the left, extending to the heel. Then draw the foot towards the top of the mat. So you're making it in a big kind of a bicycle motion circle. Take the knee out to the right and across to the right. The knee over the body, over to the left, and then press the foot away, huddling that foot to the left lower corner of the mat, moving the foot to the center of the mat, leveling the hips and drawing the knee back in. Taking the knee over to the right one last time, the knee over the body to the left, huddle the leg round to the left, extending it to the top of the mat, level the hips, and then draw the knee back in once more. Let's now soften our shoulders, holding on to the knee with the hands around the knee once more. Flex both feet and feel the shoulders, the back really level on the ground, pressing everything to the ground in balance. And just stay here for a moment. Flexing both feet really helps strengthen, and we set our joints, our ligaments with unity, with strength, and with nice dexterity, nice balance, subtlety, stability. Let's now take the hands to the back of the thigh, pointing the foot up. You can circle the foot round one way and then the other again, on the sun and the moon. And either holding onto the back of the leg, the calf, or a strap around the foot. Maybe you take the hands to the foot if you can. Keep your shoulders soft away from your ears and your head level with the back pressing down. Let's stay here for 10 breaths and try not to force anything. So if you can hold a strap or your hands to your leg in any way, that's easier for you. Just notice that. So we're not gripping with our shoulders, with our jaw in any way. We're really relaxing jaw and shoulders, relaxing face. Feeling the breath, the love caresses of your breath, easing through, stretching out. Let's now take the foot over to the right side. The left hand can drop to your left hip to just keep the hips level. Right hand to the leg or to the foot, or the strap can be holding the foot out to the side with the right hand. And try to not drop the leg to the full extent so it's really, really relaxed and floppy. Try to keep it active, strengthening all the muscles of the interconnection of your inner legs and your pelvis, really strengthening and lengthening. Taking 2 more breaths here, we won't stay for too long. And then let's action the leg all the way over to the left side now. Maybe you're holding onto the strap, or your left hand going to go to the leg or to the outer foot. And maybe your right arm is away from your body, or your right hand can hold your right hip, and maybe the right hip can be moved down slightly with the hand acting as a guide for your stretch. And if you need to bend your right knee, you're really welcome to, of course. Let's just stay here for 2 more breaths, noticing the twist in the lower back across the rib cage to the right shoulder, easing to the ground. Bringing the leg back over the body, draw the leg in towards your chest, your head area, over your body a bit more, and maybe your head lifts towards the leg for 1 breath, drawing the lower belly in, pressing the lower back to the mat, softening shoulders away from the ears. Great, bringing yourself back onto your back, and you can have both legs straight to the ground or hug them in. Maybe with the legs straight, you just shuffle and sway your hips, wiggle a little bit, feel the body, feel both legs. Notice in the stillness the sensations, the space of your body around your body, the space of you, and with love, with your breath. Let's now draw the left knee into the body, flexing both feet, extending the right foot to the top of the mat. Pinpoint and flex the feet a few times, maybe circling the left ankle round one way and then the other. Pressing the shoulders and the back to the ground. Keep the feet flexed, and as you flex both feet, really feel the leg line stretch through again. Stretching to this right ankle, the right heel, with the left knee in to the left rib area. And then let's hold onto the back of the leg again with our hands, or with a strap, or the hands to the foot. And maybe if you want to, you can start the circle, just circling your foot around one way and then the other a few times before you come to stillness. And finding that easeful stretch that's working to the best for you today. Softening your shoulders away from your ears, your jaw, your face, your back, softening through, keeping the legs strong with your awareness, your intention for love, circling with your breath. Well done, everyone. 1 more breath here. And then let's drop the leg over to the left, using the strap or our hands, or the hand to the outer foot again. Noticing your right hand to right hip, perhaps, to keep the hips level, bring the shoulders level. Softening your gaze, your throat, softening with your breath. Feeling the extension of this leg in space. 1 more breath here, please. Let's move the leg all the way over to the other side now, across the body and all the way over to the right. Again, you can hold the strap or your foot or your leg. And as you ease through both shoulders, maybe you take your left hand to the left hip to ease it down, or your hand out to the side. Feeling into your breath, relaxing, releasing, stretching through this side. And maybe the knee bends if you need it to bend with the outstretched leg. One more breath, please. Great, let's take the foot all the way over the body again. And then drawing both knees in, let's circle the knees out and in to butterfly wing, the legs, feeling into the pelvis, the hips, the motion around the top of the thigh bones, the femurs, into the pelvic bowl. And the bowl of the pelvis, again, as a fountain, as a wellspring of vitality for your body, with your breath. Circling the knees the opposite way with this wings out and in. And the motion from your pelvis of the fountain of vitality, moving through you, massaging your back, your spine, your shoulders. Great, let's roll onto our side now. Press the ground away to come up. Bringing your mat back to a point where you're comfortable with it, on the ground, on your screen you can see. Take your hands to the ground, spreading the fingers and thumbs in tabletop. You can have a little sway from side to side. Practice cat-cow if you like, and inhale to lift the heart and the tailbone. Exhale to round or any circle, maybe spiral forms that feel nice for you, to just come onto your hands and knees and send some love through your body, awakening your spine, your movement, after we've been on the ground with our back. Easing through your hips and noticing the front of the pelvis and the back again, the tilt of the pelvis. And then let's come to a straight spine. Let's step our right foot forward and just have it in between the hands. You can have some blocks on the mat to help you, or even a bolster just in front to have the hands on. And in your own way, just sway forward and back with the foot flat on the ground. The back foot can be flat or the toes tucked under if you prefer. Feel the shoulders level and easing away from the ears. Softening your face, your jaw, softening through. Noticing a wave again, wave as you exhale and inhale, noticing the pelvis and a wave through you. As you exhale, softening and sighing out, and inhale, lengthening, lifting through. Coming to a still point, let's tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the ground, level the hips and the shoulders. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. Maybe on your exhale now, you can stick out your tongue for lion's breath as well. Your tongue linked to your heart, your core, your strength, cleansing and transforming your communication. Your next exhale, sticking out your tongue. And 2 more breaths, please. Inhaling. 1 more, inhaling. Great, taking your left knee down. You can have your left hand on a block or on the ground and reach your right hand back. You can stay just here and enjoy the twist round. Or take the right hand to your left foot behind you, draw the heel in for monkey twist, lift your heart, send your right shoulder back and feel the thigh stretch. You're staying here for 5 breaths again, so noticing what's right for you. If you just want that twist, you can take that. If you want to make it harder with the twist, you can lift the back knee up, lifting your heart and gaze. 1 more breath. Great, coming back to center point, drop that left knee. Let's now change the hands. Maybe the right hand stays on a block or on the ground. We'll lift the left hand back in the kind of an arch form to be level with the shoulder. Left arm reaching back, looking round. Feel the inner right pelvis, the inner right thigh. Press the right foot down and both feet equal. Feel the legs more, softening this left shoulder. One more breath. Great, let's come away from the ground with our hands now, lifting into a normal low lunge with the hands overhead. You can choose your hand options, hands separate, pressed together or interlaced, index finger pointing up. Notice your shoulders soft away from your ears, whichever form that is. Have a breath there. And then let's take hold of our right wrist, hands over to the left. Stretch out the right side. Notice the hips holding you in stability. And even though it's strong, softening your shoulders, your face, remembering those love breaths, breathing through. Great, we can inhale, reach the hands up and keep them up. Or you can take your hands to your hips and try like a camel form where we're tilting our pelvis slightly forward, actioning the stretch through the front of the left hip, lifting the heart and looking up. Either you keep with that lifted straight form or a slight upper back in camel, softening the shoulders away from the ears. One more breath, lifting through your heart. And exhale, coming back to center. Round that, take your hands to the ground or your blocks and come back to tabletop. Have a little sway from side to side, like you're wagging your tail. And imagine you had a beautiful tail behind you. You know, I like to say this. What tail could you have today? That's your little love note to yourself, swishing your tail, your magical tail. Let's step our left foot now forwards and beginning your sway forward and back when you're ready, keeping the foot flat, noticing this side. Noticing the rhythm, the way your body would like to move. Maybe you sigh out at any time. Deepening your breath with your experience. And love inside. And then let's pause as we hold stillness. We can either have the hands on blocks or the ground or a bolster again. Tucking the back toes under or back foot is flat as you just pause for a few moments. Maybe you encourage more strength and stretch out the legs more with the back toes tucked under and the knee lifted. And one breath here. Let's take the right knee down and then reach the left hand around into that turning twist form. Bring into the left hand and the thumb, guiding your gaze round into the twist. And we stay here or take the foot in for the thigh stretch for monkey twist. Breathing through, across the rib cage, the back of the lungs, back of the ribs, easing the shoulders, lifting your heart and gaze. And again, if you have the straight arm back, twisting form, you can lift the bottom knee off the ground to make it harder if you want to. One more breath. Great, coming back to a center point, drop the back knee and just relax for a moment. Now keep the left hand to the ground or to the block. We'll lift the right hand back into our turn on this side. Into the twist to the back space and to the front of the right thigh, the front of the right hip and side, and looking round to that side. Taking 2 more breaths here, breathing through. Into both feet, the legs, the lift through your spine, your heart, softening your jaw. And then bringing the hand back to the ground as you look forward, tuck the back toes under, lengthen into a lizard form from the back heel, leveling shoulders and hips, taking the shoulders away from the ears, stretching out. One more breath, like a light beam of love through you. And then taking the right knee down, let's lift up into a low lunge form, reaching the hands up, choose your hand options like before for a few more breaths. Softening the ears away from, the shoulders away from the ears, softening them down. Take hold of the left wrist and move both hands over to the right. Feel the hips stabilizing you and the stretch to the right thigh. And what's different on this side? Inhale, reach the hands up. You can keep that, or rotate the hands to the back of the hip area. Lift the heart and looking up into your half camel form. Maybe you reach one hand up, one hand down. Kind of have a play, and maybe you change the hands a little bit. I forgot to say that last time. Just enjoy the stretch through. Hands on your hips if you like, lifting your heart, or hands overhead. One more breath. Great, as you exhale, hands down to the ground. Let's step back to down dog or plank, whatever feels the nicest for you. And you can have your plank or down dog on your blocks. It actually gives a nice lift to your shoulders and starts to help you lengthen your spine a bit more if you practice down dog on your blocks. And then we'll lower onto our knees, onto your forearms, so moving the blocks or the bolster away just to the side if you need to. Forearms shoulder width apart and level, palms facing down to begin with. And then let's turn our palms up to the sky, trying to spread the fingers and the thumbs to the ground equally and level with awareness. Then notice your head and just drop your hips, your shoulders back a bit, dropping the head, hovering it off the ground for a moment, relaxing your throat, your neck and the trapezius muscle, the back of your neck and shoulders being stretched here, kite, your upper back. Let's try to settle onto the front of our thighs with our palms still turned up in that expression of our hands. Wiggle onto the front of the thighs, the feet, with the legs straight for Sphinx pose. Notice the openness of your palms and open a bit more across your heart, actioning your heart to lift and beam out a big flashlight of love from your heart to the world, through your house, your street, your area, your country, and beaming love through the back of your heart as well, through the back of the world, the back of your body to the world, beaming out love. And let's stay here again for a few minutes, breathing through. I'll read you another poem. And as you notice the ripple, the wave form of your breath, perhaps you can ease your head, your shoulders, your throat, your neck, even more, sending love all the way through you, out to the universe, out to the galaxy, out to all. I read Hymn to the Sacred Body of the Universe, my favourite Jude Dallinger poem. Let's meet at the confluence where you flow into me and one breath swirls between our lungs. For one instant to dwell in the presence of the galaxies, for one instant to live in the truth of the heart. The poet says the entire travelling cosmos is the secret one slowly growing a body. Two eagles are mating, clasping each other's claws and turning cartwheels in the sky. Grasses are blooming, grandfathers dying, consciousness blinking on and off. All of this is happening at once, all of this vibrating into existence, out of nothingness. Every particle foaming into existence, transcribing the ineffable, arising and passing away, arising and passing away, 23 trillion times per second. When Buddha saw that, he smiled. 16 million tons of rain are falling every second on the planet, an ocean perpetually falling, and every drop is your body. Every motion, every feather, every thought is your body. Time is your body, and the infinite curled inside like invisible rainbows folded into light. Every word of every tongue is love, telling a story to our own ears. Let our lives be incense burning like a hymn to the sacred body of the universe. My religion is rain. My religion is stone. My religion reveals itself to me in sweaty epiphanies. Every leaf, every river, every animal, your body. Every creature, your body. Every species, your body. 10 million people are dreaming that they are flying, junipers and violets are blossoming, stars exploding and being born. God is having deja vu. You are the dark that holds the stars in intimate distance, that spun the whirling, whirling world into existence. Let's meet at the confluence where you flow into me, and one breath swirls between our lungs. And as you ease yourself down from that Sphinx, maybe you decide to fully rest in crocodile, crossing forearms, swaying your feet, or you may like to just lift up for seal, a more extended back bend with the hands wide and fingers turned out, lifting heart, pressing the toes down, lengthening through. So whatever you need, if you want to work a bit harder or rest, please do. And once you've taken 5 breaths in seal, if you're working a bit harder, let's all meet in crocodile. If we're in crocodile and we're swaying out, we can take our hands to the sides of our jaw and just hold the jawline. Take your feet wide to the sides of your mat. Turn the inner arches, the insides of the feet to the ground, and keep them level with your awareness. Action the inner sides of the legs, leveling, balancing, pressing. As you root down from the feet, lengthen through the legs. Feel the inner seams of the legs and the body, the insides of the body, and the love caresses that you have been actively generating through you. One more big breath here, and if you've been in seal, you can relax in a swaying crocodile and meet us here when you're ready. And then let's soften all the way down, press the palms together, level your feet, wriggle onto the front of your thighs for Pranam full body prayer. Softening your head, have a sigh, feel your body soft, your belly, your heart on the ground. Just let everything melt like snow again, transforming with the pureness of snow. We're now going to take our hands to be underneath our shoulders, and we're going to do a bit of cobra back strengthening work. So as we draw our elbows in and the shoulder blades away from the ears, press the front of the feet, wriggle to the front of the thighs to get yourself set up, and just lift up a little bit so the Upper arms are really strongly working. Shoulders away, lift your heart. For a breath, inhale here. Exhale down. Twice more. Inhale to lift up. Press to the toes. Exhale down. Once more. Press the pelvic bone to the ground. Inhale to rise and exhale down. You can rest now if you need to, or we take the hands wider into wide cobra onto our fingertips. 3 more cobra waves with an inhale, lift up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale down. Inhale to rise, feel the pelvic bone, your glutes, your toes. Exhale, soften. One more time. Inhale to rise, lifting heart, lifting gaze. And exhale to soften all the way down. Let's take our hands to the sides of our thighs. Turn the palms up, rest your head to one side. Have a sigh resting through that side of your throat. And then turn your cheek the other way, please, resting as you sigh through the other side of your throat. Taking our hands under our shoulders, let's firm the elbows in, press the ground away up to tabletop. And we'll take our right knee to the back of the right wrist for pigeon pose. Take your right foot to the left side of the mat and then flex the foot so that the toes are actively pressed down. Let's tuck the left toes under, walk the left foot up the mat a little bit, and then we're going to lift the hips up and back for a down dog variation with this right foot over to the left and the right toes are flexed. So we keep this action with our hips moving back as we would in our normal down dog. Let your head be soft, hanging in this balance of your arms and your hands pressing to the ground, and feel the stretch through this right hip. We're now going to move with our breath and keep the foot as it is. As you exhale, take the right knee forwards, looking forwards, and then press the hips back as you inhale. You can move with your own breath, moving with the motion of your breath, with the hips pressing back, and then the knee towards the right wrist. One more time, just enjoying the sway, the pulse, the wave. Then let's settle down for pigeon. Walking that left foot back behind, the left leg is straight. Level out your hands, maybe hands to the blocks. Don't drop down all the way to the ground, but lift up from the ground, engaging around your pelvis, drawing the pelvic floor muscles in slightly to engage all the muscles in stability and strength. Inhale, let's lift our heart and look up, and then you can either go all the way down or let's bow halfway as you exhale. Inhale, rise up again, bowing halfway as you exhale. Inhale to rise, and once more as you exhale, bowing, softening shoulders, drawing lower belly in. Inhale, rise up to the top, lifting your heart. This time, let's lower all the way down. Maybe we walk onto our hands, onto blocks, onto forearms, onto a bolster, or we reach our hands overhead. Maybe if you like a bit of lift away from the ground with the head, but the head to be relaxed onto something, you can make potato hands with your fists and have the forehead on top of the top one, or you can have a block there. If you're quite stretchy and you like pigeon a lot and you feel that your pelvis has the strength and stability to hold your hips in a great, good way, healthy alignment for you, you can move the hands back behind you and rest even more into the depth of the stretch. But that's quite an intense stretch, so only do it if you can keep the pelvis stable and really working, so you're not dropping everything totally to the ground, but keeping some lift there as well. And let's stay here for 10 big breaths, please. Breathing through, allowing the breath to be in a wave of nourishment. Do this on both sides and then we'll relax. And as you breathe deep, feeling into the breath with this wave, with an inhale through you and an exhale softening. And how the wave travels through you. Maybe the inhale through the front of the body, the exhale through the back. Maybe the inhale is awakening a part of your body and the exhale soothing another part. Can you send your breath all the way through you with caressing, with love? And taking 2 more breaths. I was just trying to find a poem, the next one. Next side, I'll do the poem next. Just soften your jaw, your face, your shoulders. One more breath here. Maybe sighing it all out. Great, let's come onto our hands to the ground and carefully in your own way, come into a tabletop, swaying it out, or to a down dog, pedaling it out, stretching it through, wherever it feels good for you. And then either in your tabletop or your down dog, just have a play with the hips tilting to one side and then to the other side. This can be like in a low combination of them both in plank, or it can be higher and down dog, or resting a bit more in your tabletop. Great, now bring the left knee to the back of the left wrist. Take the left foot away from you, tilting it over to the right, and flex the right toes so they're down to the ground. Hands balanced, tuck under the right foot, move the knee up the mat a bit, and then let's lift the hips back for our stretch out in down dog formation. Moving the knee towards the wrist when you're ready, back to that first point, and then back to the stretch. Pulsing it out in your own way, breathing through. Bring into the stretch, the outer hip, what's different on this side, how your body's feeling. One more big breath. And then we'll take the left knee to the back of the left wrist. Straighten the right foot all the way to the back behind you. Check that leg straight. Hands to the sides or on your blocks. Lift up from the pelvis again. Bring the hips into the center point slightly. Lift up through Mula Bandha pelvic floor. Stay up or go down, or we'll take our 3 bows with an inhale to lift up. Now exhale to bow in, draw lower belly in. Inhale to rise. Exhale to bow in. Inhale to lift up, feel the length from the back foot. Exhale to soften and bow. Now as we inhale, staying lifted, or as you exhale, lowering down onto your hands, onto blocks or forearms, onto your bolster. Stretching the arms overhead, or taking your little potatoes to your third eye. Softening your shoulders away from your ears. And again, if you feel that you have that lift in the hips and the pelvis, and you're not really dropping all your weight through your hips in your pigeon pose, you can take the hands back as well to the sides to rest. As you rest, allowing your breath to do this big sweep caress through you again. 10 big breaths on this side. Then we'll get to relax. It's 12 o'clock now. I just realized I've run over. I'm sorry. Realized as soon as we start a pigeon on the other side. So if you don't mind finishing at 5 past, we'll just finish at 5 past. I hope that's okay. As you breathe deep, I'll read you this poem about radical love. So, beloved one, you asked what does it mean to love you unconditionally? To serve with no strings attached, just for the sake of giving, to call you my family, to greet you with a kiss and a hug in the isolation of paradigm that's submersive. So, my dear, feel my arms, an unconditional service holding you tight, embracing you in community, to walk and to rise in life. A community garden in the midst of a jungle, to plant a tree for future generations to rejoice. So, my angel, enjoy the fresh, organic, super local honey of your dreams, shadows, juicy fruits and harvest. To listen empathetically when everyone talks. To be in silence in the urban brazen of noise. To be with tears of joy in your eyes as you listen to the sweetness, the music of life. To be still in the middle of the rushing, to be courageous and kind in the midst of violence, to strive for the soul, to love and to live the ultimate truth of wholeness of who you are, to let the stars and galaxies kiss you, to send a wholesome, handwritten love letter to you, to all, to the world, to all beings, no strings attached, to have fun, to play, to live. Thank you, beloved, for this radical love, to live with unconditional love, to live your radical love and life. So love, love, love. And then let's bring our hands back to the ground and carefully ease ourselves back into our tabletop or into downward facing dog again as you stretch it out last time. Feel into all the niceness that you've given your body, all the love notes, the caresses, the breaths, the balance. And then let's take our knees to the ground. Carefully lower yourself onto your back. And again, if you want to do that mindfully and slowly, you're welcome to do it. Or rock and roll or lower down any way that's best for you. If you're lowering slowly with your core, just hover for one more moment before you touch the ground. And then reach your hands overhead, stretch the feet out long. Whole body stretch, igniting love all the way through every cell, every brain pattern, every part of you. And then resting in your own way in any form of Shavasana that you like, that feels really nice and blissful for you. Maybe your hands are to the sides, palms turned up, or maybe your hands on your body. Maybe you're resting with your inner knees touching for restorative rest. Or your feet floppy to the sides. Noticing your pelvis and relaxing all the muscles of your core, your glutes. Softening fully now. To soak in the love, the peace of your practice. Soak in like a sponge to the light, the prana, soaking deep into every part of you, soaking love all the way through you, love streaming to all of your fingers, your thumbs, love streaming to your toes, From the soles of your feet, love streaming all the way through you, through the whole of you, with love, with peace, as you rest in the ocean, in the waves of your love, with the universe inside of you as love, and sending love out to all. And as you rest in silence, listening to your own heart song, your own heart's prayer, allowing your heart's calling, your sankalpa, to shine out of you like a celebration, and sending this across the world from your heart to all I read a poem by B. Moore Tizza, is the name. A Time to Believe. To believe is to know that every day is a new beginning, is to trust that miracles happen and dreams really do come true. To believe is to see angels dancing among the clouds, to know the wonder of stardust and the wisdom of the man in the moon. To believe is to know the value of a nurturing heart, the innocence of a child's eyes, and the beauty of an aging hand. For it is through their teachings we learn to love. To believe is to find the strength and courage that lies within us when it's time to pick up the pieces and begin again. To believe is to know we are not alone, that life is a gift and that this is our time to cherish it. To believe is to know that wonderful surprises are just waiting to happen, and all your hopes and dreams are within reach. If only we believe. As you seal this in with love, with peace, saying thank you through yourself again, thanking the whole of you, and sending these thanks out to the world. As you seal this in, sending your breath through your body, a few more big deep breaths, and saying I love you. Maybe you send I love you to a part of you that needs more love. Maybe repeat this again and again as you wake for your day. Moving your fingers, your thumbs, your toes, having a wriggle in this love. Wiggling this love, awaken you to shine out to the world. When you're ready, rolling onto your side and coming up to seated. When you're ready, there's no rush. And take our hands to our heart. And perhaps you touch the thumbs and the little fingers together, blossom the middle fingers away from each other in Padme Lotus Mudra. And just sit for a few moments, sending love to your family, your friends, sending love out to all. Noticing as you send this love, you're catching this love back into your energy field, showering and fountaining with love. And as you press your fingers together gently, bowing in your own time to your heart, bowing to each other, bowing to all of the world, all of our lives, that we come here to grow and to learn, to live with love. Sending your prayer to the world as we all pray for love and peace for all.